Pochettino out. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man right here, Mauricio Pochettino, and whether or not his time at Chelsea is nearing its end. It's been a horrible week for Chelsea. It's been a horrible week. Back-to-back defeats, losing to Liverpool last Wednesday by 4-1. Shipping 4 goals again yesterday in Chelsea's 4-2 defeat against Wolves. And Chelsea are sliding down the table. They are scroll down FC. They are not in the top half of the table anymore. Wolves have leapfrogged them after yesterday's performance and result. And now the Blues find themselves in 11th. And once again, that basically means that the Chelsea fan base are riled up yet again. It seems to be 1 week it's okay, the next week it's really bad, depending on which end of the result they are on. There doesn't seem to be any respite from Mauricio Pochettino, and the pressure is absolutely growing on the Argentine manager. So much so that many people are predicting that maybe his time is at its end, or is at least his days are numbered. Maybe, just maybe, he may survive into the Carabao Cup final that's coming up at the end of this month. Maybe that will be Pochettino's last stand. Win that, and maybe, just maybe, Chelsea will keep him on. Lose that, and maybe that will be the final straw for Mauricio Pochettino at Stamford Bridge. We're going to be talking all about Pochettino and about the job that he's doing at Chelsea and about how the fans are on him so bad right now. But before we go any further and talking about all that, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you lot to get involved in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think and feel. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, will make for great and interesting reading down below. So do get involved down there. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea. Look, I said when Chelsea sat Graham Potter, be careful what you wish for as far as what Chelsea are concerned. I said at the time when Graham Potter was sacked by Chelsea, the cycle is at a fear, and a huge fear at that, of being reborn and going through this cycle again. And it seems that we are near the end of yet another cycle, and the cycle is going to only repeat yet again. The cycle, of course, being a new manager coming in, trying to implement his style on the team, bringing in his own players, getting rid of some of the old ones, beginning again, and not having the patience to see the cycle through. Chelsea fans are the worst for this. I've said this time and time again, and a lot of people have also echoed it as well. Chelsea fans are the worst. The worst for patience. The worst. And yet, they're being asked for this patient cycle. They are so used, well, most of them, of course, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them are so used to the Roman Abramovich era of quick fixes and quick solutions to winning major trophies that they are not doing the whole process thing. They don't have time in their minds to go through an entire process of a long-term solution for long-term gain. Todd Boehly, since he's come in, has had the same issue. He's tried to do everything all at once, which is why Chelsea have spent £1 billion within his first year of his reign as owner. That's why Chelsea have forked out so much money on the likes of Mikel Mudryk and Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, just to name a few. That's why Chelsea have done all that, because they tried for a quick fix. And it hasn't worked. And Chelsea fans sit there and go, well, this isn't working and that's not working. And they look towards the manager and they go, well, he's definitely not working. He must be the major problem. He's not the major problem. I'm not going to say he isn't faultless. Of course he is. He's had many faults during his reign as manager. He's been playing players out of position. He's made wrong substitutions. He's approached games in a wrong way. His in-game management sometimes has been a bit questionable. But what do you expect from a guy who has come into this club and has got a whole new team to work with, probably didn't even know half of those players when he walked through the door, because there's been that much change at Chelsea over the past year or so that he didn't even know the players. The players don't know each other. How was he supposed to get this team to gel overnight? That's my big question. How was that supposed to happen? There was very little chance of that ever happening. And the excuses from Chelsea fans were, in comparison to Graham Potter, that is, well, Potter didn't have a pre-season, Pochettino has. Potter didn't bring in his own players, Pochettino has. What's the excuse now? Because I said at the time with Graham Potter, they needed to give him time. They needed to give him a couple of transfer windows. They needed to give him time to clear out some of the dead wood. They needed to give him time to fully implement his style and to bring in key players into those positions. And yet, that hasn't happened. And it's not happening again, and it's a major risk of not happening again. Where is the striker? That's the big one. Where is the striker? I said under Graham Potter, the football is there. Under Pochettino, I've said time and time again this season, the football is there. But where's the striker to finish it all off? It's not there. And I'm not saying that's going to be the be-all and end-all of your problems, but it will be a big solution to a big problem that Chelsea have right now. And that's my issue with it. My issue with this whole situation is, if you were to get rid of Pochettino, whether it be today, tomorrow, after the Carabao Cup, at the end of the season, your cycle just begins over again. You bring in a new manager, he gets rid of some players, he buys some more players, takes him a while to gel, Chelsea fans run out of patience, they want him sacked, they bring in a new manager. That's the cycle of Chelsea Football Club in an entire nutshell. That's the situation and reality that Chelsea fans have right now. Rather than try and see something out, rather than give it time, they decide, we don't have time, we want to win now. And that's the incredible nature of Chelsea. And they're finding out right now that money doesn't buy them everything. Sure, it was fine and exciting when you were throwing around a lot of money, wasn't it? It was very exciting when you were throwing money at Moises Caicedo and you were stealing them off, hitting him off Liverpool, and you were throwing money at Romeo Lavia and bringing him over and stealing him again from Liverpool and taking Mykhailo Mudryk off of Arsenal's hands when it seemed like that deal was just in the palm of the Gunners' hands. But it hasn't worked out on the pitch. And again, maybe it's a time thing. Maybe it's these players need to gel. How often do we see a player not take to the team, not take to the coach, the management, the style of play, the culture of the club, or whatever it may be, at the first time of asking? How many times have we seen a player not hit the ground running straight away, but then eventually grow into it, gradually get better with time, with patience? So often that has happened. And I just want to know the excuses from Chelsea fans right now. I do feel sorry for Poch in a way, but I also don't, because I think he should have realised what he was walking into. He should have realised the toxicity of Chelsea right from the off. The fact that they're not going to give him any sort of chance to hit the ground running. Being a former Tottenham manager was always going to put him in a bad place anyway. But the fact of the matter is he was walking into a club that had so much changeover, so much modifications made to it and changes, everything from the personnel to the backroom staff to the coaches to the people in power and everything else in between, that it was never going to be an overnight success. But it's not going to be a long-term success if you keep going through this cycle and this process over and over and over and over and over again of bringing in new managers the moment things don't work out for you. Yes, you have spent £1 billion. Yes, you are better than where you currently are in the Premier League table. I do not deny that. You should be above 11th place. But maybe, just maybe, short-term pain for long-term gain. Maybe that is maybe the cause here. Because the solution that a lot of Chelsea fans are putting to us right now, bring in Jose Mourinho. Oh, I'm sorry, has my time machine worked? Have we gone back to 2005 Jose Mourinho? Have we gone back to 2005 Jose Mourinho where he's going to come in and he's going to instantly win Chelsea the Premier League title? Is it going to be an instant success for Jose Mourinho in which he's going to win Carabao Cups and Premier League titles and he's going to be a domestic king of Premier League football? No! Because Jose Mourinho doesn't work with kids. He doesn't work with kids. And that's all you've got. With the exceptions of the likes of Thiago Silva and Raheem Sterling and maybe one or two others, he doesn't work with kids that are 20 years of age, give or take a few years. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Mourinho is a dinosaur. He's done. He failed to evolve. He may win you a cup or two in terms of maybe a Carabao Cup, in terms of maybe an FA Cup, maybe if it gets a good run. I don't deny on a cup level Mourinho would be decent. But when you're a long-term project like what Chelsea are, when you've got Todd Boehly who is looking at the much bigger picture and has got the idea of the destination in his mind, but not the steps in which to get there, Mourinho is not one of the steps. He may stabilise you till the end of the season, but beyond that point, you're on your own. Because to stabilise till the end of the season, this season's already pretty much a write-off for Chelsea as it is. Yes, the Carabao Cup maybe a glimmer of light in an otherwise dark season. Yes, they are still in the FA Cup. But other than that, Chelsea have got nothing. And European football is ever so slightly slipping from their grasp. With each and every passing game that they play, like the one against Wolves yesterday, it's slipping from their grasp. And I get that, and I understand that. And I also understand that you can't, or a team like Chelsea that has spent so much money shouldn't be putting all of their faith on a 21-year-old Cole Palmer who is the brightest spark in a extremely dark season. I get that you shouldn't basically be saying, give the ball to Cole Palmer and let him do something, because no one else is going to. But at the same time, you can't, you've got to at least stick with it. You've got to at least stick with it. And if by the end of next season, things haven't improved, if results are still inconsistent, if the performances aren't still there, if Pochettino is still making the same mistakes time and time again, that's when you say, I have enough evidence and enough ground to be able to say, Pochettino out, bring in someone else. Because I don't think this guy was going to be the be-all and end-all of the project. I think this guy was meant to lay the foundations. I think they maybe brought him in a lot sooner than what they were thinking. I think the long-term project was Graham Potter, and then when that didn't quite work and when Chelsea fans instantly turned, they turned very quickly to Pochettino. That wasn't necessarily the overall plan. That was a makeshift plan that they had to come up with as things spiralled. And mainly, it spiralled because Chelsea fans were not patient enough. What do you say now? Because he's seemingly doing worse than what Graham Potter was. Results-wise, at least. I still think you need a striker in order to maybe get some of these results that you're not getting right now. Because, like I say, the football is there. The play is there. It's just not being finished off with a clinical, lethal, and cold-hearted finisher up front. And that is down to your club. That's not necessarily down to this guy. Because I don't know who's making the decisions in terms of your recruitment. But, like I say, it's very strange to me that you've got one big area of fault in that squad, in that personnel, and you haven't addressed it. Everyone's seemingly putting all their eggs in this Christopher Nkunku basket. And like I say, I am extremely intrigued and excited to see him play more. But the more time he spends on the medical bench, what's the point? Can't keep waiting around. But as for Pochettino, look, like I say, give him more time. I'm not a Chelsea fan. What am I saying? Hell, sack him. Bring in Mourinho. As a Liverpool fan, as a rival fan, I don't care. Like, if you want to experiment with Mourinho again, go for Mourinho. Have him have a third time lucky sort of long-term replacement. Go for it. I don't care. But at the same time, if I am to be neutral, if I am to be honest, Mourinho is not the guy. Pochettino, you need to give him a chance. Otherwise, you're not going to give anybody a chance and you're going to go through the same cycle over and 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 over again. And to make it even worse, this massive gamble you took on tying down these big players to big contracts for big money for huge long-term years at the club backfired. Massively backfired if that was to be the case. How are you supposed to shift them on for the amount of money that they're going to demand? How are you supposed to shift them on for the amount of money that you're probably going to want to sell them for if a new manager comes in and goes, I don't like that player, 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 I don't like that player. I'll keep these few, but I want to get rid of the majority of them. It's a mess. It's a car crash. And the only way to somewhat deal with it, in my opinion, is to give this guy more time. He may get more time because he may win the Carabao Cup. He's not likely to win it. I don't think anybody is giving him much what would you call it? I don't think he's giving him much of a chance of winning the Carabao Cup. I think Liverpool are the favourites, but I don't think a lot of people are giving him a lot of a chance to actually win it. They very well could. After all, it's a one-off game. It's at Wembley. It's a cup final. They very well could go on and steal it. They could have that one game where they may win it in normal time. It could go to extra time. It could even go to penalties, and they could win it. They very well could. It's not for the first time an underdog has won a final. That could keep him in the job till at least the end of the season. I do fear for him that his days are numbered. But more so, I just feel Chelsea need to give someone time. So why not this guy? Why not? You failed with Graham Potter. I said it was wrong at the time because you're going to go through this cycle. And here we are a year or so later in the same situation where a manager's come in. He's actually had more time. He's actually been able to do more things than what Graham Potter was able to do. And yet, we're in the same situation. So what does that say about Chelsea as a football club? What does that say about Chelsea as a fan base? And what does it say about Chelsea as a squad? The entirety of Chelsea just stinks. It's an absolute car crash. It's an absolute train wreck. But it needs to be sorted out ASAP. And I just think more time is needed on a fan base that is the most impatient and spoiled fan base in the Premier League. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's genuine. Those are the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this whole Chelsea situation? What do you make of Mauricio Pochettino? What do you make of the fan base? What do you make of everything else in between? Would love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section. I'm sure it'll all make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up. Enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things always and very greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I'll see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And have a good rest of your day. Take care. And I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.